We've put more money in people's pockets by cutting taxes for the middle class and raising them on the wealthiest 1%. We made the Canada Pension Plan stronger because in a country like ours, seniors shouldn't struggle to make ends meet. We renegotiated NAFTA, securing trade access to our largest and most important trading partner at a time of U.S. protectionism and unpredictability.
That was Prime Minister Justin Trudeau speaking last month. One of the topics that he touched on, of course, was taxes. That topic is often top of mind for both voters and candidates. Aaron Wudrick is a federal director for the Canadian Taxpayers Federation with us from Ottawa. And Aaron has served as a political organizer and campaign manager for several Conservative Party candidates. Just we're outing all of your partisan stripes here today, Aaron, because it's important. But just in terms of what you've heard on the campaign trail by way of promises, there's been a lot of criticism about the so-called boutique tax cuts, tax credits for putting your kids in sports programs or arts programs. Stephen Harper liked them, former Prime Minister. They're very kind of conservative in nature, big C. Is the criticism fair?
Yeah, look, we're a group that likes broad-based cuts. We call it the steak, and the credits are more like beef jerky. It is tax relief, but it's very complicated. It's very boutique-y. It's a wasted opportunity, frankly. I think it's better to have broad-based tax cuts. It's fairer, and frankly, it does not clutter up the tax code, which in this country is already ridiculously complicated.
Yeah, talking about those boutique measures proposed by all parties, how would this complicate the tax system that you mentioned?
Yeah, it's sort of back to the future in terms of a lot of the Conservative promises. They're bringing back credits from the Harper era. Again, we would have liked to have seen them propose other broad-based measures. We really like their proposal to cut the lowest income tax bracket. We would have liked to have seen more in that vein. But certainly some tax relief in a time when people are very concerned about affordability issues. Some tax relief is better than no tax relief at all.
We do hear from some of the parties, and given that we may be looking at a coalition here, Aaron, it's worth talking about what the NDP has in mind. And there are raising taxes on the table. Corporate taxes could be going up in Canada. We could see a luxury tax on goods of $100,000 or more. Do you worry about the economic effect in a negative way of those things?
Absolutely. I mean, aside from the impact it will have in Canada alone, of course, United States is our largest trading partner and our biggest competitor, so we have to be mindful of the relative tax rates in this country. The Trump tax cuts, of course, had an impact, I think, sort of leapfrogging Canada in a lot of ways in terms of attractiveness and competitiveness. So to go the other direction here, especially at a dubious time when there are storm clouds on the economic horizon, would probably be a very risky thing.
Aaron, having said that, throughout the election, how much focus have we seen on taxes on businesses and top earners?
Yeah, not as much as we would have liked. I think early on, in early days, there was a fair bit of coverage of it. It sort of has dissipated more recently. So, we think it's obviously got an issue that's top of mind. It does matter to a lot of Canadians, especially in large cities where cost of living, as I said, is a big issue. Tax cuts and finding other ways to keep money in Canadians' pockets is something that both the Liberals and Conservatives have shown that they want to focus on.
One thing that did happen in this country a few years ago was that our value-added tax, our GST, was lowered, popular with maybe consumers, very unpopular with economists. Would you like a government that would raise that GST back up those 2 percentage points?
Boy, we are a group that's very reluctant to endorse any type of tax hike. We like our taxes low. We'd rather see an income tax cut. If we had to choose any one thing to cut, I think that an income tax cut, a deeper one and a bigger one than is on offer now, would probably be our preferred way.
Aaron Wudrick, thank you so much for joining us today, Federal Director for Canadian Taxpayers Federation.